And we're live.
Hi everyone, welcome to the news. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah.
So,
Welcome to the new talk for this week.
how do you pronounce it?
Talk?
Digital?
I didn't say digital.
Okay.
This new talk.
No.
Weekly talk.
Yeah, sorry for that. Okay, so today's
Okay.
topics will be Java 15, a game called Despotism 3K, updates about the Intel XE DG1, and yeah, then we'll also talk about Apple's ecosystem and why it's so good, actually. So, should we start with the first topic?
Yes. Also,
Java 15.
As we know now, Java has released every 6 months. On March or April, something like that, it was released Java 14, and that had some new features. And now they are talking about Java 15. They came out some news about that, and now we are going to see some features that are going to help us developers that are really cool stuff. Okay, that's happening day by day programming. Some of these features that we're going to see was already present in Java 14 as preview. Some of these are now actually released. As I mean, they are not in preview anymore, and other two of them are in second preview. So we can use them in Java 15, but we have to enable some stuff. But yes, I mean, we are going to see them. We can test them in Java 15, and then on Java 16, hopefully, it will be released as full features. And yes, also we can start. Let me check a moment with records. Okay. Also, we are soon going to show wait a moment, the code, but I want just to say something before. Records are classes, so you use them as regular classes, but they are just going to be used to save data and to carry data. So you cannot modify data that's in it, and there is no actually logic method, business logic in them. It's just for having values. So it's like Pojos or Java Beans, but made a lot easier. We can share our screen now, and we are going to see some code.
And the moment. Make it a bit bigger.
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah. I should maybe start the streaming from the iPad.
Yeah. One moment.
Okay. Come on.
Okay. Also, now we can see the code, and this is a class, a model, where we hold information of x, y for a point. So just imagine we're making something with displays, and we need to save a point, also a pixel or a point on the screen. So we have this model. Yes, also what do we have to do? We have to have our fields that I'm showing right now. We have to declare construct and this one, and then we have also accessor methods where we can retrieve the information that we have stored. And then we also have these three methods that I'm going to select right now. That's equals, hash code, and toString. Every Java developer knows a bit of them, and so I'm not explaining these methods right now. But yes, also this is for each model that we need for store data. We need these methods. Yes, with records we have something really cool that allows us to write 61 lines in just one line. So here we write as record point int x, int y, open and close bracelets, and that's it. What happens behind is it create he create the fields for us, and the fields are x and y. He create a constructor for us that takes x and y, and then it automatically creates the other two methods that we have seen before, so to string, hash code, and equals. So with one line we have everything that we need. We can also then use the constructor to do some really nice stuff, and we have seen here we can validate the value, the data that's coming in the constructor, and we don't have to give the values of the parameters values of the constructor to the fields, because it's done already manually. So we on our constructor in a record have just to validate the values. That's it. So in 6 lines, sorry, we have a full model with access methods, equals to string, and hash code, and we have validated data, and that's cool. Default constructor takes all the fields, so yes, you always have a constructor with all the fields that you need. There is no constructor with empty, with no parameters. And what is also really nice, and that could help a lot during day-by-day programming, is local record. You can just declare a record inside a method, and you have it. With one line, how we can see on the code that I'm selecting right now, we have a record, and then we can use here on the stream how we see this line here, we can create a new class, a new record directly in this method, and that's something huge because you have less code and the same functionalities. So yes, that's something really nice, and I can't wait to use them every day, because I love to have classes where I just have my values that I need, and yes, record makes it a lot easier. Okay, then we talk about instance of. There is sorry, I have forgot the name, but it's pattern matching for instance of.
Just give me a second here.
Yeah. So when we have to cast an object or check if an object that we don't know which class it is cast to it, we have to check if it's an instance of that class, and then we can cast it. Let me okay, we can show you the code now. That's how it's done. We have an object that we don't know which instance it is. We make instance of string, then we do string s equals casting the object as a string, and then we can use s. With this new function feature, we just have to do if object instance of string, and then we declare a variable s, and we can, if it's an instance of here where there is a command can use s here, we can going to use this variable. If not, we have another section of the else, so that makes one line a lot easier and it's a lot faster. So we can also do stuff like that. I'm selecting right now this this line. We can have if conditions, really more simple and more easy to read, because if you check also the code that it's below, when we want to do something like that, there is another example we have before to cast it when we are doing an if, and that's a lot of code more that we can avoid with this new instance of, and that's really something that it makes the code a lot easier to read and also more sexy. Yes. Okay, then we have the last feature that we're going to talk about today. That's a new access modifier. It's sealed class. No.
Oh, that's the wrong one?
Yes, that's the wrong one.
But you...
No, it's this one.
Oh. Sorry.
It's seed class. This what?
You have wrong
Yeah,
links.
I will send you the. You can. Okay, sorry for a moment, but.
So, I mean, they end differently, but
wait,
the third and the first is the same link.
Yes. Yes, I have just. Oh, I didn't say maybe. Okay, but I mean, this sealed class is going to help us to make more. Sorry, I cannot talk and do stuff.
It's okay.
Sure. Okay, then. Oh, I send it to you right now on here. It's okay. Or
yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Because it's. Okay. Also, we know that we can create classes and extend them, or we can create interfaces and then implement them. Sorry, I was forgetting the name. And so what happens? We create a class. Everyone can extend this class. Okay, we can use access modifiers like final or private or package private. And yes, we can say how in which range we want to share this class. But we can, with this new feature, we can say that this class is available widely on the project, on the module of our project, but just few class can extend it. And if we are going to see the code,
no.
Yes,
Almost.
just a second.
No.
We have with this signature, also we have public sealed class, and then we have permits. We are going to say we have a we have a class that's called shape that can be extended just from the class specified after the keyword permits. So that means circle can extend shape. Rectangle. Yes, thank you. Can can extend shape, but no other class can extend it. And that's something really, really nice, because it helps you to understand what this class is doing. Because okay, shape is quite easy to understand, but there is a lot of classes that's it's written by someone else, and it's not so easy to understand what's going on. So this will help us to understand what is going on. But it will also help us when we are using instance of. We have seen before the new instance of already help us, but with this also with sealed class, when we can create a method like here, I'm selecting it now, shape rotate, and we give a shape to this method. Then with instance of, we can, because with instance of we can say if it's a circle, rectangle, square, and we need just these three other classes, because we already know the shape is a sealed class that can be extended just by circle, rectangle, and square. So it makes a lot easier writing methods that are for subclasses of shape, and that's something that really helps in some circumstances. And yes, also how you can see also here, the code is really small. You don't have to do so much, because otherwise you have to say, okay, what happens if the class is completely something else that doesn't fits for this method. And yes, with sealed class we can avoid this problem. So yeah, then that's it for these three features. There are other features as well, but we wanted just to focus on this one because it takes time to explain them, and this is the one that I prefer and that were my favorite one. So as a Java developer, I'm really hoping to use them in day-by-day code development. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to give some feedback to that, but I'm actually never developing with Java. So for
Java
me,
with such a hate.
Java.
Yeah, also I am, as you know, guys, I am a backend developer, always coded in Java. for backend, and he's more a front-end developer. Yeah, so front-end, backend.
Okay, so do we want to go to the next topic?
Yes.
The next topic is less of a news, but more of something that is just funny to look at. It's actually about a game called Despotism 3K that I downloaded it a week ago, but didn't touch it yet because it's a really simple indie game. You're most time you're only on one view the whole time, and I will show it to you in a second. So what's Despotism 3K? It's actually a roguelite. So when you're going through the game and you lose, then you have to start at the whole beginning again. So always from the very beginning. Now what's so funny about it is that you actually you manage humans.
Yeah, how manage humans? Yeah. That's the fun part.
Yeah, you kind of have to let them work for you. You have to let them reproduce to make more humans. You have to let them generate food, and you also have to let them relax so they can strengthen again, so that they can work for you.
Yeah.
Because you are actually an artificial intelligence. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just how it looks.
Yeah. Okay. So the history is there is an AI that has taken control over the world and is using humans to generate electricity and.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's about the game, and I've got a little video. I mean, you can probably, or maybe you can hear this. Oh no, you cannot hear the sound because it's so delayed. I mean, in the end, you pick your little humans and you put them there where you need them. If you need power, then you put them in a wheel. If you need them to reproduce, you put them into the reproducer. And what you can see right now, I was throwing them into the bioreactor to produce some additional energy. Or you can also use them to generate food. And it's actually a really neat, funny game. Because it's just, I mean, you have to like dark humor, of course. It's as dark as it can just get because you're just enslaving humanity. And I mean, you just pick the human and throw him into the bioreactor where he dies.
Yeah, but I mean, also we have seen the picture. I have seen there is this bioreactor, and there is also where they bounce.
Yes, and actually, let me just show it to you here as well. So as you can see here you cannot see any human there right now in the middle of this picture. Where they bounce is actually where food is being produced. I mean, humans need to eat.
Oh wait, there is a column after.
Yeah,
that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe if you can see it here, there is. I think it's producing burgers. It's really weird, but yeah, that's where food is getting
there
produced.
is a burger here actually.
Yeah. And actually, if you look at the video again, it takes a second for you to see it. Come on. You can see how they are jumping and jumping and jumping. And I don't know why they are jumping. By that they produce the food, so maybe you can see the little hamburger is being generated there.
But wait, the food is used for energy, right?
Yeah, the humans need the food. Here on the top right, top left, I mean, you can see a scale for how much food they need and how much food you have. And also here you can see, wait, can you see it? No. You can see how many people you have. And also, of course, how much energy you currently have and how much energy you maximum can have. And it's really funny because when you actually play it, you can upgrade your how they call it. I call them chambers. For example, the pool or the generator or the reproduction or the food or even the bioreactor, you can upgrade them to be more efficient or to allow more humans to use it at the same time, to generate, for example, more electricity if there are more people in the generator, that you can see here on the middle left. Yeah.
I mean,
it's really simple when you see it like that. You start the game really, really simple. You have 4 humans, and you just we have 5 humans.
okay.
You put, for example, 4 into the reproduction chamber where they do their thing
Yep.
and reproduce, and 1 into the generator. And then you wait until you
Have enough.
have a few new humans. Then you put them into the generator, into the food production, and by that you get the whole flow going.
Okay.
But it's really important. I mean, probably you cannot see it here. Wait, let me just show you again. On the top, you see this little counter. Not yet. There you can see the counter going down, 3, 2, 1, and on the left side, the power went lower.
Yes.
And this happens 5 times a day, or 4 times, 5 times a day, I think. Because you play it in days. And you have 20 seconds between each part of the day. And every time the left meter goes down.
Okay.
And as you can see here, now, there's a little green area and a little blue area. And the green area is what will be subtracted from the energy after the 20 seconds have passed. So you always have to make sure that you have enough energy there, because if you run out of energy, that's it.
Okay.
The game just ends. And
okay, also
it can happen really quickly. But there's more. Actually, every day a new challenge appears, or something is happening. Always something is happening every day. For example, I don't know what the reason was, but also in this, what I showed to you, you see it's kind of reddish. That's because there is extended more heat. It's warmer there right now because there was some event and it's getting more heated, and the sequences are actually text-based between the days. And it pops up and it's saying like, oh, the heat increased. What do you want to do? And then you got the option, use a few humans to buy an air conditioner. And then you pick that option and it goes into the next text. And it's like, okay, your humans have found a brotherhood called that and that, and they want to convince the humans to join them. What do you want to do?
Okay,
and it's kind of like those old text-based adventures, where you just pick. You have to imagine.
That's really cool, actually.
And that's really cool. This is giving the game way more. Let me just stop it here. This is giving way more. No, it removes predictability from the game. Because usually, of course, you can just optimize everything. So it's perfect. You can grow more humans. You can put them to the generator, more food, that. And at some point, everything's fine. And then something happens. And it can throw everything 180 degrees, so it can flip the whole situation. If it was just running fine for you, in the next moment everything will break.
What was the baddest thing that happened to you?
For me, it's usually sometimes you have an event where a whole machine is being destroyed. For example, I think after the sixth day, there is something about butter. I mean, this machine, this artificial intelligence that we were talking about, was previously passing butter. I think it's from Rick and Morty.
Butter.
Yeah, butter.
Okay.
And at some point, it's in this text-based scene. It's just like, oh my god, I can only think about butter. What should I do? And then you have those 3 options, and if you pick one of the first 2, then your food generator will stop. I think it was like that.
Mhm.
It will stop working for a day, and a day means 5 times 20 seconds. And then
Okay.
and having at such a later day having just a machine being removed completely really breaks your neck.
Yeah.
And
You have to
at
change a
that
lot of
point,
things.
I was not able to
Continue and you
continue. And
lost.
I had no
Okay.
food, so people die. And that when all people die, you can not generate energy, and that's it.
But if someone dies, can you put it in on the
No, actually, it has to be
alive?
You can.
Wow.
I would just.
Thanks.
Yeah. It has to be alive to be killed.
It has to feel pain to generate energy.
Yes, exactly. So if you, now you can see it. I will just zoom in here. Okay, I have to hold it. Damn it. Now I wait until you can actually see it.
Yeah.
You see there are little meters, and every meter there is a human, or it's the strength of the human. For example, on the left side you can see I have 4 people in my pool of people, and one has a lot of strength, but 3 don't have.
Okay.
And also the 2 people there in the generator on the right side of what you can see right now, they both are not very strong. So I have to remove them from one location. And for example, the 2 people in the generator, I have to put them back into the relaxation chamber where they can relax and regenerate. Or if I go to the bioreactor, in this mode that I have right now, what I was playing, it will always automatically pick the weakest and throw them into the bioreactor.
Okay.
Wow. So by that way, instead of waiting until they get relaxed again, if you have 2 people, also you can see the little images there.
Yeah.
If you have 2 people in the regeneration chamber, they will create a new human every 15 seconds. So I have 2 couples there, so they will probably create 2 humans in 15 seconds. And by that, I will, it probably makes more sense to throw those humans away and to wait until you get new humans. So, because by just throwing them away, you will also generate electricity. And
yeah, okay, but there is a lot of thinking that you have to do, what strategies you have to use.
Yes.
There is dark humor, there is this text adventure side. It seems fun. I have to. I didn't play it, but yes, I will.
It's definitely worth it. I mean, I really like it.
Yeah, nice.
And yeah. So what else can I say about this game? It's also not very expensive. I bought it for 10 euros on my Nintendo Switch. So that's not really expensive. I mean, you can expect a lot of it. And it actually has a goal. I mean, you have this is when you start the game, it's a campaign. And it goes 26 days, I think.
Maximum,
so, yeah, maximum. But I didn't pass the 7th day yet.
Okay, as it seems hard.
Yeah, it will only get more and more difficult. So yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I will definitely try.
Yeah, you should try it. Also, Dead Cells. Because Dead Cells, what I'm always talking about, is pretty similar. Because when you die, you start from the beginning.
Yeah, not such a. I mean, I tried games like Dead Cells. There is Rouge One. No, what's
Russian Roulette?
Knight. You also have it. With the blue helmet. Yeah, I don't remember the name, but
Fortnite.
Wow. No, it's the title's Knight something, and there is this character with a blue helmet.
Yeah, is it an insect?
No, it's not an insect. It's a knight.
Yeah, I know. I have a game with a knight as well, and it's an insect. I don't know. You have to show me later.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the same. You have to go, and you cannot die. If you die, you have to start again. Okay. Yeah. I tried, but for me it's too hard. You have really to remember what the enemies are doing, which are the patterns, and to improve yourself and to go further and further and further. But I'm after 1 hour, I give up. It's not the games that are made for me. I play more games like JRPGs, so or JPR, stuff like that.
I mean, if we would all have the same taste,
that would
be really boring. We would all play the same game.
Yeah, I mean, we're two different types of gamers, so but
Okay, let's continue to the next topic.
Okay, for the next topic, we're going to talk a bit about Intel and their graphics card. Okay, we have seen some rumors about the XE DG1. Also, there is some time that Intel is working on the graphics card department unit. They want to make graphics card that will compete with AMD and NVIDIA. Last year, they actually showed some image. There were some render of possible layout look of the graphics card, and that was on the CES, right? CES?
CES, yes.
CES,
okay. CES. I was thinking if it was on that event, but
CES of 2019, and this year on CES 2020, they actually had a laptop with a discrete graphics card that I guess it was this one, but I'm not so sure, where they played Destiny 2. So what does that mean? They work. So they have graphic cards that actually work and can put in laptops or...
I mean, they already have GPUs inside of their CPUs, so they can do that.
Yeah, but it's different. That's integrated. We are talking more about discrete and dedicated.
But in the end, you could just take the integrated part and put it on an external card.
Yeah.
It's dedicated.
Yeah, but I mean the performance, then they're terrible. So they're working.
But I mean, that's what's so great about Intel. I mean, sorry for interrupting, but they already have kind of knowledge for graphics. That's what it makes them able to now go the next step, because I think, how should I say it? Like 2012, 2013, I think they were really ahead of the competition when it came to integrated GPUs. Because they were efficient, they were already integrated, everything's fine. You know, back when Intel was more efficient than AMD, you know that time?
Yeah.
Not today anymore. Now they have Ryzen's with Vega graphics as well, and they're just as fine, or even better. So that's why I think they will do a good job there, kind of.
I mean, it takes time. They will try to compete with NVIDIA and AMD. Had also some rumors that the cost of the cards will be around 200 euros at the beginning, but it depends for the mainstream sector. So they will have something that's low level, maybe also higher level, because there are also some rumors about ray tracing. Because new consoles have ray tracing, so maybe they wanted to add the ray tracing just to be on the same level. But that's a rumor for the high-end solution that they will make. But there are a lot of rumors that's coming out from the Intel graphics card. What we know is that Intel is working on. They have made a demo with a discrete graphics card on the CES 2020 with Destiny 2, and it runs, it works. We really hope that Intel is coming out. Also, they said that this year they should come out with a graphics card. So let's see. I'm really hoping that they will, because more competition, more choice for the consumer, and it makes that the competitors have to try harder.
Yeah,
so
definitely. But they will need a long way. I mean, AMD and NVIDIA, they are experienced for years, many years, not 2012, way before that. And Intel has no public dedicated GPU yet.
So, but it will take time. But
And developers will be like, yay, a third company.
Third drivers to, yeah, that's, but.
Because actually Intel has the power and the size to then start cooperating with laptop or computer manufacturers to implement those GPUs in the computers.
Right. And now also they pop up on Twitter image where they were talking about.
Should I open?
No, there is nothing to open right now. Okay. Actually, it was just an image with a score on 5 strike.
Oh, okay.
And it is the Intel XE DG1, but and it should be a integrated graphics card that is a lot faster than the other integrated graphics card of NVIDIA and AMD. So just to say some
I mean, sorry,
AMD and NVIDIA.
No, I'm not joking about that.
Okay.
I'm laughing because you can always be faster. That's not the problem. Make it 1,000 watts TDP, and you're quicker than any. At some point, you can just scale it bigger, but it's about being good at a specific efficient and price level, and that's what I'm interested about. Can they deliver, something that is compatible to an how are the new ones from AMD called? RX 5700, something like that.
7060. That's what I have.
Yeah, that's what I meant. If they can be efficient, close to such a graphics card, that would be really interesting for me to know. So,
yes, okay, that should be a OM mobile solution graphic card, and
it's only mobile. What they will?
Yeah, for laptops. No, this one that we're talking now.
This XE DG1. It's the whole time it's made for laptops.
No, also they will came out also with dedicated graphics card for gaming and stuff.
Yes.
But they are also developing new graphics card for mobile.
So it's a dedicated GPU in a mobile device, like my MacBook Pro here. It has an AMD chip and it has an Intel chip.
Yes, it should be.
So it's like an Intel chip and an Intel chip.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be like that, but it's more rumors, so sometimes it's quite complicated to understand that. But yes, it's for mobile, and it has a point of 5,960, and it goes goes directly against the GTX 950, so it's the low level of the other year. So you see, okay, it's not that great, but if you compare it with sorry, I have to take the name, with the NVIDIA NX 350, it's 32% faster.
Okay.
And if you compare it with the Vega GPU of AMD, it's almost 70% faster.
Okay.
But then now it's a huge but. So for that, it's a rumor. We have to see. It's just to talk about it.
Yeah.
But this graphic card were used with a Intel. I have to check them. Sorry, I don't remember. Okay, with a Core i9 9900K, and this means that it had a larger TDP, so it was getting more power than it should be. So yeah, maybe this percentage that we said right now, it's not how it will be then in the reality, because then it will be just have 25 TDP maybe or something like that. Yeah, it's a lot less. But also we have to say that the driver that they're using right now are not so mature as it's going to be on the release, and driver are really important for performances. So let's also, I hope that they will destroy the competition. It would be really nice that they can make a chip that is better than the AMD and NVIDIA, because it means that AMD, Nvidia have to improve their mobile graphics card, and there is more competition. And so you can buy laptops with great graphics card that are not so heavy or...
You know what would be really funny? If not Intel starts to beat AMD in GPUs.
Why?
I mean, like, AMD is currently beating Intel,
Yep.
you know, at CPU. And now it will be
Oh,
like a backslash, like
Intel is, yeah.
you beat us at CPUs, okay, we
We
beat you at
GPUs.
GPUs. That would be a really weird
They
game. Then.
Yes, because
Wow.
it completely flips over the market of 20, 30
Yeah.
years. I mean, yeah.
I'm not expecting that, but that would be just really fun.
Yeah, it would be fun. But I mean, what we're going to say, Intel is working on it. They have a sample that is working. They are trying to make some mobile graphics card that are really competitive against the Nvidia and AMD products. And I hope that we can see them as soon as possible. So yeah. But I actually don't think they will be released 2020. I don't know.
No.
They said 2020, but there are still no really reviews or really clarity around them. And also with the problem of COVID, all flips a little bit away. I mean, it's harder to produce much graphics card. And yes, I think
they also have to start with this really good. I mean,
yeah, I mean
they're new in the business.
Yeah.
I mean, they made some Intel optimized games that are looking kind of good and using the integrated Intel CPU. And I mean, there is an older Intel NUC.
Okay. Yes.
Which actually, it was supposed to be a low gaming computer, and you could also use it like that. It had a quad core, but it also had a very good integrated GPU.
Yeah.
Let me just show you that
it's
one.
It's the Iris Pro.
Yeah, Iris Pro or something.
Yeah.
I actually, in the company I was working before, no, not this one. I was working with one of those computers, and I think it looked really nice. And I would like to buy it again, but it's old tech by now.
Oh, these ones. Okay.
I can just show you. Give me a couple of seconds to start this, and then I can switch it.
Okay.
Yeah, takes forever. Come on. This one here. It was just an Intel CPU with an integrated Intel GPU, and it actually is quite able enough to run League of Legends.
Okay. Yeah.
Like those kind of games, and that's how they marketed it. And it had a very decent integrated GPU.
Yeah. They also, when they came out, we read up about them, and it was really nice integrated GPU. So it was improved a lot about the previous generation.
And I like that machine especially because it has had a quad core. It had a good GPU. It's sleek. I like the design. You can change the plate on the top. It was a really good machine. I really like it. I kind of miss it right now. Damn it.
Yeah.
Feelings for machines.
Yeah.
Nerd.
They exist. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're going to see how Intel will. Okay, and another thing, they have actually developed software where you can share your where you can stream what you are playing. So they actually are focusing also on gaming.
Yeah.
So this is a clue that they will release some dedicated graphics card for gamers. So what I hope actually is they will start with some low-level graphics card as AMD did on the last years with the RX 580 or 70, really good cards for 28p that doesn't, the price are quite low where people can buy them. And if you reach this sector, you have a huge plus then. I mean, a huge sector, because a lot of people bought AMD because they were cheap and are great performances. So
that's why also Intel, I mean, they could have started with their own machine, but they actually did this, which is not so sleek as I would like to have it anymore.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No, I mean, who made this machine?
Intel.
Okay.
Oh, you don't know that? Okay, I can tell you so much about it.
What's
it's
that?
an Intel NUC.
Yes.
Bigger boy. With an AMD graphics card, but the GPU is on the CPU die as well.
Okay.
It has HBM. I don't know if it's HBM 1 or 2, but it's HBM memory for the GPU. And let me just show you Intel AMD GPU chip. Looks really interesting.
Oh, you already talked about that, I guess.
Probably. It has. I told you in the office. I told you about it in the office.
It was a huge die. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's cool because it's a Vega something. Which one is it actually? Vega.
Legacy. No. RX Vega. It's just called Vega, I guess.
Yeah, Vega MGL.
Okay.
Let me just show you here as well. Wow, the delay between iPad and live stream is huge. So this is on the left side, you can actually see the GPU. That's the GPU with the HBM storage memory. And on the right side is the CPU. And what I just showed you before, this one is actually using that chip. And I mean, that also shows how late Intel is with this whole GPU game, because at that point they rather used AMD on the same die instead of using their own GPU, because I mean
they don't have own. I mean, they have disintegrated. They have APUs like that.
I know, but even it's 2 years ago, and you see they were just not ready yet for GPU.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's sad to see, because I would really like to see such a machine like this one. All Intel.
Yeah.
Because then they can kind of do their own gaming machines with their own CPUs and also GPUs. And what I always liked about Intel is that, I mean, with the Intel NUCs, they create their own PCs. And I always liked those PCs because they're quite powerful and tiny.
Yeah.
Now, does AMD do anything like that? Like do own computers?
I don't know, but I don't think so.
I also I have never heard of it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I never saw anything like that.
That's what I like about Intel.
Yeah.
No.
An off-topic question, but talking about these computers reminded me of one project that completely failed. Do you remember about Steam machines?
Yes.
Okay, wow. And that was 2 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was a huge topic at the moment.
But I never heard about anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's dead. It was...
I mean,
yeah.
This page looks really...
Yeah.
Wow.
There was such a discussion on forums, on YouTube, about Steam machines before they came out, because they promised to have consoles as PC. You can have a PC as console. But what was wrong with that? They were using Linux. And I like Linux. I'm a pro Linux. But Linux is not for gaming. Okay, there is a lot of games that don't work on Windows.
This is long ago. This is 2011.
It started. but it's not.
Okay, release date is 2015.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
5 years ago already?
All I can remember really is the current controller. I mean, this is the old controller. They made another one.
Yeah. But
yeah,
it was really weird. I mean,
it was supposed to. You can just boot it and do your
lower
gaming.
Price. And there was a lot of people that was saying, yeah, that's the future. That it's really great.
When people tell the future, it's always not the future.
Released, never spoken again about it. In 4 years, 3-4 years, no news about Steam machines.
Yeah, because no one needs it. I mean, you want a very good experience on your television? Buy a PlayStation.
Why
do we need a third? We have PlayStation. No, we have Xbox for AAA games.
I get it, because it's really fun. Do you know Steam Big Picture?
Yes.
Okay, it's really, I like it.
It's cool.
Okay.
I like it. Yeah.
So 5 years ago, I made a PC with used components that I bought here, there. Okay.
Here and there.
Here and there. Thank you. Here and there. And what I did was it was booting on Windows, but it was as soon as it was booted, he was launching Steam Big Picture, because it was my second PC just for gaming. So I had my laptop, they were working. Then I want to play. I started a PC, and it was directly going on Big Picture. And it was nice because you don't have actual PC. You just take the controller or the keyboard and you play, and you have a nice UI for that.
Yeah.
So you can have the experience just using a PC with a little. You have to do something, but it works. You don't need C machines that are running on Linux. But yeah, that's off topic. It was just to see if he was remembering Steam machines.
I actually am, but since no one talked about them in the last years, I just forget them.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Okay, then we want to go to our last topic. Okay, let me just write down the time here. So the last thing that we want to talk about is the Apple ecosystem. It's just something that I wrote about on the DIGITLZ website. You can actually find the article there. And I just want to talk a little bit about it and tell you why it is working so great. First, what do you know? Well, what did you DIGE?
Yeah, no, it's and it was a typo.
Also maybe with my home address here.
Okay.
There you can see it.
Yeah.
Have you ever used iPhones, iPads?
iPhone.
Mac? I mean, did you use them together?
No, I just had iPhone, and it's okay. I'm not saying that iPhones are bad. They are great phones. Okay.
Yeah.
Are perfect phones. iPad is really good. They have a good OS. We talked about them in the past, and I really like them. But it's not for me.
Can you close the door, please?
It's not for me. I was an Android developer. I like to do what I want on my phone, so I use Android. And I had to use iPhone because, it was a strange situation and had this accident. I called it an accident when I was using it's a little bit mean, I know.
Yeah.
But
what was the accident about an iPhone?
I paid €100 for an iPhone 6s.
Yeah.
iPhone 6s. Yeah, 6s. And it was working fine. It was our old phone, but it was working really fine. But it's just not for me. But yeah.
So about the ecosystem part of this discussion, what I just want to talk about is why it's so great to use them together. Because Apple has many tiny features that make it so great to use them together. The biggest part probably, it's the third here, it's continuity. For example, Sidecar. It's really simple. You just have your iPad, you put it next to your MacBook, then on your MacBook you click on the top of the Mac on the little iPad that you cannot see right now, and boom, you have a second screen.
Yeah.
It works just wirelessly with almost no lag. It's really instant, and that's what's so great about it. It just works at that point. Not always. That's the funny part, but it's really easy to set up, and they complement each other, the MacBook and the iPad. And the cool part also about it is that when you have your iPhone, everything is set up, you're using your Apple ID, and then you get a MacBook Pro. And you set it up as well with your Apple ID, everything's fine. And I'd say the same word over and over. The awesome part is the rest is now just working. You don't have to set up anything else. For example, there is one feature I like way too much nowadays. Is universal clipboard.
Okay. What means that?
When you have a message and on your phone, or a picture that you just got from someone on WhatsApp.
Okay.
And you're working on your MacBook Pro on a presentation. And you're like, oh yeah, I could use that there on my MacBook. And how would you do it normally? You would save the picture, or you would send it to AirDrop, or through AirDrop to your Mac, or you would go through a server. How do you get the picture from your phone to your Mac?
I do, I mean, because I have to do that on Windows, I just use Telegram.
Yes. So, and the cool part now, if you do this continuity thing, you just hold the picture and press on copy. Then you go on your Mac and press Command V.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and it's instantly taking the picture of your phone to your Mac.
Wait, what?
I can show it to you later. It's just that easy.
Okay,
I can actually show it here. I just have to prepare it on my iPad. For example, let me get some note here. No, that you.
But I mean, how can it be so fast? That's the problem.
Because it uses a peer-to-peer connection, I think, so direct communication.
So they are always connected.
Yeah. So now let me just share it.
Yes, I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
This is just my notes app. Now I got this. Let's make it even. Oh, let's just take this picture here from. You cannot see it, but on my iPhone, I just go on a picture and I click copy photo. Now on my iPad, I click on paste, and let's hope that it will work. Can you actually see it? Oh, yeah. And it's now pasting from iPhone. And
wow. Okay. yeah. Okay. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, and this is what I'm talking about. It's those little things that
that's really cool.
Make it so great.
Yeah.
And that's continuity on an iPhone. One part of it. Let me just delete some notes here. And that's what I mean. It comes out of the box. I mean, it took a while for this whole thing to work.
Yeah.
I know back in 2012, AirDrop, what you can use to transfer bigger files very quickly from one device to the other, was working very fine. And with 2013, I think it was, they introduced a new OS. Now, they were not mentioning cats anymore, but now it was like Maverick instead of Snow Leopard. You know, they always had cat names. Snow Leopard, Lion for their OS names.
Okay, yep.
Then they switched over, and they also changed a lot in their OS. And they also changed AirDrop, and suddenly it was not working anymore. I mean, I was a student at that time at university, and we shared a lot of files.
Yes.
Student files. And suddenly...
What does that mean, student files?
Topics and stuff. And at some point it was suddenly not working anymore, and that was so annoying. And it stayed that for a while. And now a few years later, they really made it very well. Like Sidecar, it's working really fine. This universal clipboard is almost every time working for me.
Okay.
Also, another cool thing, you can, maybe I can show that here as well. Oh, it's not working on iPad. I would have to do that on Mac. When you're in an email, or no, you're just on your desktop and you have a document laying next to you, and you want to scan that document. What do? You take a picture here, and then how do you transfer that picture to your computer? Yeah, same thing again. Telegram.
Yeah.
And with continuity, you just click, make a right click on your desktop, import from iPhone or iPad if it has a camera, which all iPads have, and then on your iPhone it will just pop up. I mean, I can just show it to you here. If I go now here and import from iPhone and I make scan documents, oh, there you have it. It instantly opened the camera. Okay. Now I can take a picture of the document, and I can also crop it here so it's perfectly aligned. Yeah. Then I click just on done, and it transfers the file to my desktop, and I have a scanned document. Wow. And yeah, that's one part. Or another part is instant hotspot. They refined it so far. If you're using your MacBook on the go, you have no internet, of course, because MacBooks don't have LTE. But what has LTE? Right, your phone. So you just open your MacBook, you start using it, and your MacBook knows, okay, the iPhone is close to me. It will just start the hotspot automatically on the iPhone, and you just have internet on your MacBook. Okay. You don't have to take care of it. The communication between those, they do all that.
This is the great stuff about Apple. Apple makes really cool software that works for their environment. Yes. And a lot of features that are really nice that we have seen right now, and that's impressive. Yeah. The problem on Android, you cannot do it because you have or Linux or Microsoft or Linux or Windows, OS. So it's a little bit difficult, but I really hope that it will become something.
I mean, Samsung tried it. Samsung tried something. I mean, for example, calls and messages. So with your iPhone, just imagine you're in your villa, big villa, with good Wi-Fi. You left your phone 20 rooms further in a sleeping room, in a bedroom, and you're on your couch with your MacBook, and someone calls you. Yeah. Yeah, usually you would miss that call because you cannot hear your phone. And on Apple, your MacBook rings. Yeah. Because they are in the same network, and they know that they are both in there. And as soon as your phone rings, your MacBook will ring as well. And not only with FaceTime audio, but also with just normal cellular calls. Okay. So there is FaceTime audio, FaceTime, and of course it will ring on every device because it's your device. Yeah. But if I call you on your number, only your phone will ring. But even that will be redirected to iPads and MacBooks or other iPhones that you have, and so you can use it over this. And now to get back to Samsung, Samsung tried to do that as well, and they even announced it. Samsung ecosystem, something like that. And now they let me just show it to you. Now they try to act Apple-y. Connect with. I even don't like the website. Learn more about the Galaxy ecosystem. And now I'm here. And
but I mean, it doesn't work with PC.
No, with PC, but it works if your Samsung phone is ringing, then you can accept the call on your Samsung tablet.
Yeah, okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. They start to kind of copy it. And but it's just with AMD and Intel. AMD is much further than Intel in graphics. And Apple is just the same as that. They're further with it. So that's a cool part about the ecosystem, and there are many more things. For example, the photos. You take a photo with your iPhone because so many people take photos with them, and then you just go on your Mac and view your pictures.
Yeah, okay.
And this is also part of the ecosystem because it goes to the iCloud and it gets synced to all the devices.
Yeah, you can do the same on.
I know, but you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's the beauty. I mean, it's
that's the part.
Out of the box.
I have an iPad. And my mother has an iPhone and an iPad. and I didn't had to set up any Google syncing or Google Drive, or I just set up the Apple IDs on both devices. Done.
And done. Yeah, that's it's out of the box. That's the beauty of
and it's made
Apple.
good out of the box.
Yeah.
Because there are many solutions like this, and there's always one thing that doesn't work.
Yeah. The problem is that if you want to do something like a little bit different, then it gets complicated.
Yeah, but what would you change?
I mean, use another cloud. Use another cloud solution.
And that's a good point, because Apple is doing it so great, so good, so you stay at Apple. They don't want you to use
but I mean,
another system.
Yes.
And you really have, if you have to decide to be in the ecosystem. I mean, that's why I'm in the ecosystem, because it's okay for my purpose.
Yes, I mean, that's true. If you are in the ecosystem, it works all fine.
Yeah.
It's all perfect. You don't have almost no problems. The fact is that you have to take what Apple gives to you.
Yeah.
And for most people, for most situations, it's perfect. I mean, you don't need something else. But if you want to do something else, or change something, or have more custom stuff, then it's a little bit trickier. It's complicated. But if you don't need that stuff, Apple is perfect. But yeah, I mean, I don't like. I mean, I like the ecosystem because it works well, but I don't think I'm going to use that because, I want to do how I want and what I want. I want to choose, and that's another philosophy. But I mean,
open it again?
Yes. But I mean, Apple ecosystem is one of the selling points of Apple. And you have iPhone, and then you have a Mac. I mean, then you get used to it, and it works great. It's really cool. I mean, but it has to work with you, so for you. Okay. Yeah.
So I think that's all. I mean, we're already 1 hour and 12 minutes online. So that's all for it for now. Where is my view? Okay. So thank you for joining again to our stream. Don't forget our game stream on Monday, 7 p.m. CET. I think we will keep with Monster Hunter. Probably. It just makes more fun with more people.
We are 3 people, also me, Chris, and Cass.
Correct name.
And Cass. Also Cass has how many hours on?
Too many. Way many than we have.
Yeah, I just started playing it. So I played Monster Hunter on PSP. Now I bought on PS4. And I'm playing it, not so much, but I'm playing it. Still playing Tales of Berseria. But yes, it's fun. It's really fun. So, check out the stream on Monday, 7 p.m. as usual.
Yes, exactly. And also feel free to join our Telegram group. But how should I join it?
We can share it right now on the channel.
Yeah, let me just get that. Copy into the channel, Twitch. Telegram.
Yes. So if you have any ideas, suggestions, okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Or feedbacks, you can use the section under our stream. There's a box. Okay, there's a box.
Suggestion box.
Fill
it.
Wow, so many words, so complicated. Just to say suggestion box. Fill it and send it our your suggestion and feedbacks.
And of course, check out DIGITLZ.com, where you can see our latest blog posts, and usually what we write there, we will also talk about it here.
So
and thank you, Guy. And also, thank you for also just joining. But it's okay. You're welcome. And follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just search for DIGITLZ.
We have a blog, an article about the Apple ecosystem with more details that Chris wrote. And there is also another article that Chris wrote about the game.
What did you write?
Let's see next week. About the how it's called the name again? Despotism 3K.
Yeah.
So yeah, give a look into it. Comment on the post articles and yes. Okay, so see you next week.
Thank you for watching.
Monday and Saturday.
See you next week, Monday.
You are right.
Okay. Thank you and bye.
Ciao, ciao.